Hey, everybody. So I wanted to go over some West Coast jazz stuff. I was thinking mostly contemporary and Pacific jazz / world jazz. Check out the comments here. Hey, Mick. So let me drop a link if anybody wants to join. You guys can come on up. I got a stack of those two labels here. I thought we could do a deep dive into some of the titles, some of the labels, and I keep my West Coast jazz together on the shelf. You can see I removed a ton of it to show. And, besides contemporary and Pacific, I know that there's others. Like, I think there's older stuff, perhaps like Aladdin or something like that. So, jazz West Coast labels. What's up, everybody? Let's see what comes up. Oh, well, there is Jazz West Coast, which is a really good label. They put out, I think, that Paul Chambers record, Delegation from the East, and some other stuff too. What else is there? I think primarily, I know that there's, hey, Breakfast King. Yeah, wanted to go live. Good to see you too. But yeah, let me know what West Coast labels you guys like. I think Pacific Jazz and Contemporary are the two biggest ones. So I got my stack here. I think I wanted to do Pacific Jazz first. I recently picked up some good Pacific Jazz stuff. So there's obviously this one, which everybody had a chance to grab if they wanted it recently. So Joe Harley on Tone Poet also has access to the Pacific Jazz label. So this was a bit of a sleeper when it came out, and then it gained up in price. This is the first pressing. I'm proud to say I pre-ordered it the first time. I was really excited to get this. But I told that story before. But yeah, so Harley put this out. It's been repressed. I think it was repressed again or restocked again on the website, bluenote.com. So I think you guys can get that. There's this one here, which I like. I think the cover's great on this. This is World Pacific with World Pacific label. And it is a Tone Poet. So this one here, let's see. So Lee Konitz, alto, Jerry Mulligan, baritone, Chet Baker, trumpet, Larry Bunker, drums, Carson Smith or Joe Mondragon on bass. So pretty killer lineup. And I think this was like on a super set somewhere where it was like $5 or like $10 or something. So that's another good one. Oh yeah. So Joe put this out, and a lot of people, it was their first time hearing it. And I think this was one of the most exciting like reissues of like 2021 or whenever year this came out. Let's see. Yeah, 2021. I hesitated to get it, but I finally ended up getting it like, I don't know, I guess earlier this year, and it is really good. It's got Curtis Amy, which is he's on Mustang, which I think is a Verve record. Jack Wilson, Ray Crawford, but Dupree Bolton, who plays trumpet, this is one of his few that kind of makes this one special. It has a great cover. Look at that. What's up, everybody? So, one of the things that makes the West Coast sound is the players. So there's definitely a geographical influence. There's the labels that are dedicated out in LA. But then there's also the players. So this is a good one. Has a lot of West Coast players. So Chet Baker's generally associated with the West Coast, but he also recorded for Riverside and tons of stuff in Europe. So he's not exclusively, but he's kind of known as a West Coast guy because he came up with Jerry Mulligan. But then you also have Art Pepper, also considered West Coast. Phil Urso, he's on a couple records that I have. Carl Perkins, Curtis Counts, which I think you get more bounce with Curtis Counts, or I thought maybe that Chad's reissuing something with Curtis Counts. I can't remember which one. And then Lawrence Marbles. And I think there are mispresses where it calls him Lawrence. But yeah, his name is Lawrence. So this one's good. This is the infamous Hot Cut. So this is the Tone Poet. And on side 2, there are multiple places where a lot of people's stylists come because it's so hot. the argument is that your stylus is not aligned properly, that your tracking isn't set up correctly. And if you do, and you have like it set to the correct weight, it'll track. So I played with my my tone arm for a while, but not a while, but I adjusted it and then I got it to track okay. So this is actually kind of a good record to test out your tracking. Let's look at the chat. We got Mick here, Breakfast King. We got Rock Soul Man. How's it going? Drew Weissman. Can't hesitate on Katanga. Yeah, I did hesitate for a while. You know what happened is I felt like after a while I was going to sell out, and I saw what happened to Chet Baker, and I was like, you know what? Let me just get this thing. I think I got it for like a discount, and happy I did because it's a great record. That Chet Baker in the background is Heat. Yes, that's a Sam Records. It's one of the 3 Sam Records Chet Bakers. The guys and I want to do like a spotlight episode on Sam Records. So look for that potentially in the next couple of weeks. But they have some really great titles and they're doing really cool stuff this year. Okay, yeah. So Andy's saying he changed his cartridge, then it was fixed with regards to this title, but it was kind of an issue because a lot of people were returning it. I can't remember if I returned mine. I think I was about to, and then I heard Mike Esposito say not to, that it's not that every pressing is exactly the same. It's not a pressing defect. It's or it's not an anomaly. It, you know, you could argue that they cut it too hot, but that, you know, every title that you get is going to get the same. So that's good to know. We got Nick Fantasy in the house. Heard tone on can cause blindness. I heard that too. I would like to see a reissue of Ornette Coleman's Virgin Beauty. I don't know that one. There are many other albums I could think of. Heath tracks on my the Heath tracks nice on his table. Yeah, the Ornette Coleman Virgin. Let's check that out. Is that on a West Coast label? Because I know he put out, and I have his stuff on Contemporary, but I suspect it is not. Let's see. Virgin Beauty. Oh, yeah. I know this cover. I do not have this one. Producer is Donardo Coleman, which is his drummer son, who is on a bunch of his records. Yeah. So you have Ornette, sax, trumpet, violin, Donardo, drums, keyboard, percussion, Charlie Elbury, Jerry Garcia. I didn't realize Jerry Garcia was on that. Albert McDowell, Bern Nix, Chris Walker, and Calvin Weston. So that's cool. That's interesting. I'm starting to remember. Yeah, I've definitely listened to streamed this album before. All right. What else? CBS Records. Oh, it's on CBS. Okay. So more Pacific Jazz put out on Tone Poet. We have Joe Pass for Django. It's a great cover. It's also on that similar label. And let's see who's on this. So Joe Pass. I don't know if Joe Pass is considered a West Coast guy. I guess he is. John Paisano, Jim Hugart, Colin Bailey on drums. So quartet. And it is, recorded at Pacific Jazz Studios, which got sold to, I think, Liberty. I think Liberty bought them. If I'm not mistaken, I know that I've heard people say there's Liberty New York and then Liberty, I guess, LA, and that you could tell the pressing differences. I don't know if that has anything to do with the studio. Probably not. And then finally, the record that I endlessly hyped, The Remarkable Carmel Jones. Great cover. So the original is about $100 record, probably more expensive if it's in really good condition, if you get it for the going rate on Discogs. So this is Carmel Jones, Harold Land, Frank Strazzeri, Gary Koch, and Leon Pettis on drums. And I recently picked up, and that's on this label. Where's the other bums? They are, I don't know what they're doing actually. I just went live. I just wanted to go live. So they can join. I dropped the link. I let them know that I'm streaming. Let me see if anybody responded. We need more bums. What's up, Jazz Maniac? Okay, let's see what they said. No responses. A few of them have seen the message, but have not responded to it. So, yeah, probably Breakfast King. All right. So I like this record. I felt like this was received with pretty good reviews, nothing crazy. So I may have overshot the moon with that one. But to stick with Pacific Jazz, so this one is another Carmel Jones, and I think this one might be a little better. This is Business Meeting, and it's 2 sessions. One of the sessions is arranged by Gerald Wilson, who is the piano player here. But the piano player, again, it's Frank Stazzeri. So you have Carmel Jones trumpet, Harold Land, Bud Shank, Wilbur Brown, Joe Splink, and Dan Raffel on saxes, Frank Stazzeri piano, Leroy Vinegar bass, Ron Jefferson drums, and then arranged by Gerald Wilson. And then the other 4 tracks, I think it's a quintet. So it's Carmel Jones, Harold Land, Frank Stazzeri, Gary Peacock, and Daryl Dean. But this one's really good. I got this sealed, first pressing sealed Jazz Record Center, like I guess 2 months ago or so. I couldn't believe it. And the price, I can't remember what it was, but it was there wasn't a single copy of this in the United States available on Discogs. So I definitely made out with this one, but it's really good. And I think people might, if you were lukewarm on the Remarkable Carmel Jones, give this one a shot. I think this one is a little I don't know, it's a little more engaging, a little more, I don't know, shapely with Gerald Wilson's arrangements. So this one's really cool. Worth checking out for sure. Is that hard bop? So this is West Coast. So if you guys know Dan Jazz Shepherd, he calls a lot of this stuff cool bop because the West Coast sound is cool, but there is a difference, he would argue, between cool and a more bop style. So cool bop kind of fits pretty nicely with like records like this. This is Bud Shank, New Groove. This is also with Carmel Jones. So you can see like the players, I don't know why this is not focusing, but the players are similar across albums, at least on Pacific Jazz. And, they're kind of considered West Coast players, but, a lot of them are not exclusively West Coast. So this one has Bud Shank, Carmel Jones, Dennis Buttimer, Gary Peacock again, and then Mel Lewis drums. So this one's really cool. It's a great cover too. I don't know what's up with this microphone though. If anybody knows anything about mics, let me know what this is. But he's obviously playing baritone. That's Carmel Jones in the background. And I assume that's the mic his baritone's getting picked up with. But it just seems, I've never seen anything like that. And this is on this Pacific Jazz label. Cool. So what else? This is going to be heavy record showing session. I thought this was a Steely Dan free zone. Steely Dan? Who's talking Steely Dan? I didn't see that. Oh, Chad's UHQR. Well, it's not a mic, it's a hand mixer. Okay. Thanks, Andy. I'm going to pretend like I know what a hand mixer is, but I appreciate that letting me know that it's not a microphone. All right. Let's keep going with Pacific Jazz. I don't know if I want to show everything. All right, I'll show this. This, Joe Harley basically confirmed. We spoke about it with him when we interviewed him, and then I was on Steve Westman's show with him as a panelist, and I mentioned this again, and he said that the tapes sound really good, indicating that this is going to come out as a tone poet. But this is Clifford Brown with Zoot Sims, Jazz Immortal, Pacific Jazz Records. I think this is, okay, so it's Clifford Brown trumpet, Zoot Sims tenor, Bob Gordon baritone, Stu Williamson, who I know Stu Williamson from his Bethlehem work, valve trombone, Russ Freeman piano. Russ Freeman's like a classic, like he plays piano on Chet Baker Sings. He's on a lot of the West Coast stuff. Carson Smith or Joe Mondragon, who was on a previous record we just showed, and then Shelly Man drums. And this was recorded in '54. So as you guys know, Clifford Brown died when he was 25 in a car accident with his piano player, whose name escapes me right now. Oh my gosh, I can't think of his name. Oh well, let me know in the comments. Hey Nicole. Hey Flowering Spikes. Welcome. Hey Rob. Rob, I dropped the link. We're talking West Coast jazz. Yeah. So anyway, so this is coming out. Richie Powell. Richie Powell is the piano player that died with Clifford Brown. He was 25. They were going to a gig, died way too young. You know, hugely skillful, genius trumpet player. Hesitate to use that term, but I think I would argue he was really excellent. So that's coming out. Hey Rob.
I have 10 minutes.
Are you teaching tonight?
Yes. But I picked up a bunch of kick-ass records. They're just in my car. So
where did you go today?
I went to Safari. I picked up Moodsville number 8. That is the Frank West Quartet.
Okay. What's the cover look like? Is it all text?
It looks like all the old Moodsville cover.
With like volume 4 or whatever, and
it
has like all
volume 8.
Okay.
It's him and Tommy Flanagan and 2 other dudes that I don't really know. It's a blue label Trident. So
okay,
it's mono. Really? And then I found
RVG, I assume.
Yeah. And then I found I picked up some other stuff. And then at Amoeba I found Mingus. I ran into Vinyl Piper there. It's funny.
Oh,
but
nice.
I picked up Mingus, an OG mono Mingus Town Hall that I posted.
I think I have a stereo of that.
It even comes with a little like picture and something. It doesn't say that it was a promo. Okay. Here's the one.
Oh right. Okay, I'm thinking of a different record.
But then it's mono.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. That's on Riverside?
It is on UA.
Oh right. There's another town hall in Riverside that I have.
Well, that has been probably 5 different pressings of it on different labels. I believe it might be on Solid State. Other companies that acquired like UA and stuff. I think there's a Douglas one, I want to say, but I could be wrong.
Ooh, there's some good stuff on Douglas.
But and I picked up I can't even remember all the. I want to do a video because I picked up a lot of stuff. Maybe I'll show it tomorrow night. And I'm doing an auction on Saturday. So
okay, so question for you. Theme for this stream is West Coast jazz.
Yeah.
So I pulled all my contemporary and Pacific jazz. Are there any other big West Coast jazz labels? I know there's smaller ones that I like. Jazz West Coast is literally a.
Well, wasn't Pacific Jazz 2 different labels?
Well, that was.
When did it become World?
It became World Pacific. I don't know the story behind that though. Let me see. But yeah, so I pulled those, and then I do feel like West Coast jazz was kind of a moment in time because then it just became like, I don't know. I feel like then it just opened up and everybody played everywhere. In the 70s, it wasn't necessarily. Although I guess Chicago had a sound. I guess there was the loft sound in New York, so there's still geographic.
Okay,
sounds.
So what I'm seeing is there was contemporary.
Okay.
Noctune.
Oh, fantasy. Thanks, Jeffrey.
Mode.
Yes. Okay.
Intro.
Oh Discovery. Yeah, Intro. That Art Pepper has some records on.
Discovery.
And he also has records on Mode, I'm pretty sure too.
There's Trend. Tampa.
Trend is West Coast. Okay, that's a real small label though.
Yeah, Tampa.
I thought Tampa was Florida. I swear to God.
Skylark.
Okay. Wow. All right. Now these are all early 50s, right?
Probably.
I think these are all early 50s. Like a lot of these I know have 10-inch LPs,
Hmm.
right, from that early 50s era. Yeah, and then Jeffrey said fantasy.
Yeah, of course.
So I totally forgot fantasy. I don't have that much fantasy. I have some Vince Guaraldi, and let me see if I have anything else. How's your fantasy
You don't have
collection?
any Cal Jader? I have some Cal Jaders and
No, I
Vince
don't think I have any
and
Cal.
Brubeck. Brubeck was on fantasy.
I I don't think I have any Brubeck on fantasy. I don't think I have much fantasy.
But a lot of the stuff you're showing, remember, I got in that big jazz collection. So I have that Clifford Brown and the Bud Shank and Carmel Jones.
Yep.
And I picked up that mono of that surf soundtrack that Impex is putting out, and it's really good. So.
Oh yeah, I saw you pick that up. That's cool. I would totally settle for that, for a mono, like clean
I
mono.
was impressed. I was kind of being but after listening to it, it's a good record. So.
I streamed it, and yeah, I agree. Like, I think the first track, like the intro of it, I was like, oh, I don't know about this, but then they start soloing, and it gets really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have Vince Guaraldi, and then I have that Bill Evans Quintessence. And then another Vince Guaraldi, Jazz Impressions of Black Orpheus.
I have his last 3 albums were on Atlantic, or Warner Brothers. They were on Warner Brothers. I'm wrong. So I have that one where everyone makes fun of that cover where it's a boy in a hammock.
That's fair. It's an IPA. It's one of these. You guys know Other Half? I think they're out of Brooklyn. I think they might be in Red Hook, but really good beer. And I'm talking West Coast jazz.
You should have a Sierra Nevada.
I should. I don't think I have any.
I mean, there's a lot of good, but they all got bought up by the big companies in the
but
last.
Then, there are West, like, let me see if I can find. Yeah, like this one. Like this is Pacific Jazz, but this is in New York, and it's Stanley Turrentine and Mitchell. So this is not a West Coast, even though it's on Pacific Jazz. This is like a total New York session.
Yeah, but Les McCann.
Oh, is Les McCann? Yeah.
He's the thing.
I had and sold, it may have been Live at the Shampoo, which is a Pacific Jazz title. All right, what else?
Are you just pulling out all your Pacific Jazz, or this is stuff you?
What about this? This is Pacific Jazz. Now this is later.
I think he moved around a lot. He went
Structurally
everywhere.
Sound. Hold on. So this is later. It's got that label and PJ logo.
Yeah, that's a 70s label, right?
Yeah, so they may have been a little bit more. Let's see. Who's on this? Oh, does it not say who's on it? Yeah, it doesn't. I remember looking at this before. Let me look it up. So Booker Irvin, isn't he from Texas?
Yeah, but he was on Blue Note. He was on everything. He played with Mingus.
So structurally,
the work was, man.
Structurally Sound. Okay, Red Mitchell. So he's a West Coast guy, right?
Yeah. He was on like. Was he on? What was he on? He was on Contemporary, right?
We can look it up in a second. But so the lineup on this is Red Mitchell bass, Lenny McBrown drums, John Hicks, who Joe Marino's been getting into. He just got a Teresa John Hicks record, and then he just got
yeah, I mean, I have a lot, but Light in the Attic has reissued a lot of his stuff, and there's one that's like reset.
What do you think? So I listened to that Teresa record, and I think it's one of the better Teresa records I've streamed. I don't know.
A lot of the Pharoah Sanders did a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah, he did a ton of stuff on Teresa.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a live Pharoah Sanders record on Teresa. I saw another Teresa record the other day, but I forget who it was.
We can look at Teresa. I don't know where they're based out of, but so Booker Irvin tenor, obviously, and then Charles Tolliver's on trumpet, but he's not on every track. He's on a few tracks, and he really doesn't get enough time on this, I don't think. But it's still cool that he's on it.
There's, I think, another Booker Irvin on Pacific too. Is it the Big Brass?
Yeah, there is another Booker
Yeah,
Irvin.
Big Brass
Yeah.
band.
And then there's one on Blue Note I really want.
Well, I have one of his Blue Notes, but I think it might have been done in Europe. I could be wrong though.
Possible. All right,
It's
hold
the
on.
one where it's a close up of his face.
I can't remember, but I know that there is a Blue Note one that usually comes up. It's pretty expensive. Teresa Records. Let's see where this is based out of. So they're based out of California. Okay, cool. Let me share my screen. Present.
And there's some Teresa stuff on Pure Pleasure, I think. With Pharoah Sanders. And the music on. No, I'm wrong on that. But either Speaker's Corner and Pure Pleasure have put out some.
All right, hold on. We'll take a look at what's available in the United States.
Yeah.
Hold on. All right. So for Teresa Records, jazz record company label established 1975 by Alan Pittman and B. Kazuko Ishida in what is this? El Cerrito, California. The catalog included Pharoah Sanders, George Coleman, and John Hicks. In the early 90s, Evident Music bought the back catalog, so they're probably who's reissuing it. Who's reissuing?
No, I mean, they're being reissued by, I think, Pure Pleasure.
Pure Pleasure, okay.
Yeah.
So their discography is not big, right? It looks like about less than 30 titles.
Now, you can get that Idris Muhammad Kabsha. That's reissued.
Yeah. Let's take a look at that.
Yeah, you can get that. That's one I've seen.
I've seen this Rufus Reed. Oh no, maybe it was. Does he have another one on this? I thought the cover was different. Not sure. Nat Adderley on the Move. That could be a cool one.
Oh, good. Bobby Hutcherson. Farewell Keystone.
Farewell Keystone.
But was that only on CD or was that on vinyl?
Well, it's 52 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let's go and let's see. So we're in the United States. We're gonna do vinyl.
I have an OG of the Pharoah Sanders Rejoice.
So hold on. Let's see the years. I'm gonna do custom range. I'm gonna knock it off at 1985. So we're just looking at OGs.
I've seen that George Coleman at Yoshi's.
Okay, so $10 for the Rufus Reed trio.
Also, here's something to consider. A bunch of their stuff was live. So when it initially was released, it was like one LP. And like the reissues, they put the extra stuff and made 2 LPs.
That's cool. Here's Pharoah Sanders. This was definitely reissued by Pure Pleasure.
Yeah.
That was definitely. So originals are $85. Pharoah Sanders, Heart is a Medley or Melody, $80.
That one is currently, I've seen that in the stores.
And this reissued, right?
Yeah, it's reissued.
Yeah. So it's 65. And like all these are going to be in good condition. This is the one that Joe Marino picked up from Billy's when we went to Billy's shop a couple weeks ago. Shout out to Billy's Salon. But yeah, so there's that one. Yeah, you can see I was looking into it. I clicked. Bishop Norman. I'm not really sure Bishop Norman. But yeah, this is the Nat Adderley. You get that for $10. So worth checking out. Looks like there's a lot of good players and the records are good condition and they're cheap. So there could be, there could be like 1 or 2 that you really like. Worth streaming all these.
There are some, I don't know if they're Scorpios, but there are some sealed ones that you can see from the 90s on Teresa. They're a little suspect if you go look in how many pressings were.
Oh, okay, hold on. In the 90s?
Yeah.
Let's see. So
I know I saw the Pharoah Sanders live, which the Pure Pleasure is a double disc. I found an OG single, and then I was out in the wild and I saw a sealed copy of it.
So I did the 90s here. So there's only John Hicks that's available to buy right now. And Ray Drummond.
More, someone's gonna buy it.
I mean, $10. You can get the whole catalog for under $100. No, those Ferris Sanders obviously.
All right,
Actually,
I'm going to escape right now. I have to
okay.
go.
All right.
But have a lovely stream.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow night, guys.
See ya. I'll
Or
try to go for
not tomorrow, Friday night.
Friday. Yeah. I'm going to try to go for another half hour. See if anybody else wants to join. Hey, Vinyl Piper. Why can't I? Let me remove this. Drop a link. Okay, so one thing I want to point out, because we were talking about Booker Irvin, is okay. I don't know where it is, but this is one of them. This is Booker Irvin, Groovin' High, which I think is a Dizzy song. But this is on Pacific, but Carmel Jones, I'm sorry, this is on Prestige, but Carmel Jones, who was just, sorry. This is on Prestige. Booker Irvin that we just saw on Pacific is also playing with West Coast guys. So Carmel Jones in particular, who we saw on Pacific Jazz. Then Jackie Byard, Richard Davis, who's great, Alan Dawson. So that's a cool one. So that's kind of a crossover of some West Coast and East Coast guys. What else do we have? So I guess we can move on to contemporary. So I have a few more Pacific Jazz, but we can move on. So contemporary, I saw today the Out West box that Kraft put out. There's somebody selling it 10 copies on Amazon for $40. I almost bought it, but I just can't right now. I wasn't aware of Clifford Brown and Pacific. Thanks for showing. Yeah, it's really good. I mean, all Clifford Brown stuff is good, but those are really good sessions. And Joe Harley all but verbalized that it will be a tone poet. So hold on and wait for that one. Sunny Stead. Yeah, a lot of people did Groovin' High. It's a jazz standard. Yeah, it's a Dizzy song. Buy it, Mike. It's awesome. Okay. Just picked up the OG Blakey Night at Birdland 1. That's with Clifford Brown at Amoeba. Now, is it the mono or is it the rechanneled for stereo version? You never know what they have on the wall. Oh, if it's on the wall, it's probably the mono. Very nice. I'd love to get those. Just because I just want them, but Clifford Brown, that's proto Jazz Messengers. So Night at Birdland is technically not Jazz Messengers just yet. It's really early Blue Note stuff. Jeffrey, what should I buy? I'm not sure what you're saying I should buy. Yeah, it's pretty scarce to find Brownie records. Yeah. Let's see. I like finding minty OG Duke Ellington size. Definitely. They can be found cheap, actually. Yeah, I got the Anatomy of a Murder for like $4. Clean, 6-eye, deep groove. And there's definitely another one that I've gotten like that too. Oh, the Sunny Box. Yeah, actually, you know what? Let me pull that up, see if there's any more. I'm not going to buy it, but it is a good deal. And let's see if it's been sold out. It probably has. What is it? It's like, is it Go West or Out West? Sonny Rollins. It's not, the box isn't way out west. It's, hold on. Graph Sonny Rollins. So it is Go West. It is. Okay. Go West. Hold on. I have the mono version of Anatomy of Murder 6. I think mine's mono too. Okay. So the regular price is $88, which is pretty good. Oh yeah, they all sold out. The cheapest one now is $66. All right. Well, anyway, speaking of that, this is my OJC. It sounds a little tinny. This is actually not the best OJC I own. And this is a modern OJC reissue or repress. I don't know if I have the year on it, but I think it's like 2018 or more recent. It sounds okay. I'm not super happy with it actually. I'm generally a huge fan of OJC's, but I think that Sonny Rollins box probably would really be much better than this. It's on the contemporary label. Did anybody pick that up? It also comes with the Sonny Rollins with the contemporary leaders, which is a total West Coast lineup. It's like Leroy Vinegar. Let's see. Sonny Rollins contemporary leaders. Okay. Nope, that's not the right screen. Hold on. Okay, so this has Sonny Rollins, Hampton Hawes, who's great. I have at least one of his contemporary records. I think two actually. Barney Kessel, total West Coast guy. Leroy Vinegar, West Coast guy. I mean, all these guys. Victor Feldman. I have his The Arrival of record, which has gotten crazy expensive. That's actually a really cool one. Yeah. So let's take a look at this. Now, I saw this in the bins for like $10. I think the store owner just thought it was a ridiculous cover, probably thought it was not a great record. It is contemporary S7549, Arrival of Victor Feldman, who Victor Feldman is British, if I'm not mistaken. And I think he has records that he did with like the British guys at the time. Trying to think of their name. I can't think off the top of my head. I don't know why this is messed up here. But anyway, so this has the reason why, I mean, Victor Feldman's great. He plays vibra-harp and piano, and then Scott LaFaro's on bass. And Scott LaFaro, it's like his album, his bass, because it's just a trio. And Stan Levy on drums, who's a great drummer. And he's on a lot of Bethlehem records as well. But this is a great one, and it's kind of quirky, different than what the cover I think suggests, perhaps, or maybe not. I don't know. The UK I think is Tubby Hayes. I think him and like Tubby Hayes, and what's that live place that everybody played at? There's a Bill Evans on Renaissance that was put out there, but all the UK guys I think were of his era. Let's see, Victor Feldman. Oh, cool. He's on West Montgomery. Yeah, he's on a lot of good stuff. What's that venue in London? The jazz club. Ronnie Scott's. I think so. Ronnie Scott, Tubby Hayes, and Victor Feldman. I'm probably completely misspeaking, but I think they were all part of the same cohort. Let's see. Let's just see when they let's see their ages. Okay. So Feldman was 34. Tubby Hayes was 35. And then Ronnie Scott. Let's see him. No, not Rooney. Ronnie Scott's. Okay. I don't know why this one's not working. Ronnie Scott's Jazz Club. Okay. Ronnie Scott. He's 27, so he was a little earlier. But I think they all played together. If anybody knows. What do we got? Mark, come on up. Oh, we have Jack Parks here. Hey, Jack.
Hello.
How's it going? All right.
Going
Nice to
great.
meet you. I don't think we've met before.
I got up once long time ago, but it didn't work.
Okay.
I was one of those guys. Something happened, and I haven't tried your guys since then. But
no worries.
Today I just bought a new laptop.
Okay. Very good.
So it's working.
I know the struggle.
First time I've gotten on a StreamYard stream.
So Jack, do you have West Coast Jazz records in your collection?
I probably got quite a few. I've got a whole bunch of records in my collection.
All right.
but
Well, I was just going over the arrival of Feldman, and then one of the more famous ones, if I could find it, is the Art Pepper stuff. So like Art Pepper meets the rhythm section. Do you have that?
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, I got that one.
Now, what copy do you have of that?
The Record Store Day mono.
Yeah, I got that one too.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, it's very
But
good.
what I wanted to talk about is a couple, well, it's probably a month ago now. I
Okay.
got the complete Commodore jazz recordings, volume 2 and volume 3.
Okay. So tell me about Commodore.
Commodore was a jazz label. They're all 78s that was started by a guy that owned a great big jazz record store in New York City.
Okay.
And he was recording people that other labels weren't recording. Or like he did the original Strange Fruit for Billie Holiday because her Columbia didn't want to release it or something.
Okay.
And in 1987, the first box set came out, the complete jazz recordings of the Commodore record label. It was a 23 LP box set.
Okay.
On
That's quite a
Mosaic.
lot.
And then in the next year, volume 2 came out. It was a 23 volume,
Oh my God.
23 LP box set. And the third year, it was only a 20 LP box set.
Okay.
There's
Yeah.
a grand total of 66 LPs.
So it sounds like, were they all 78s?
Originally, yeah.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
original sessions. So I bought the first set about a year and a half ago,
Okay.
used, and I got it cheap because it was missing one record. So
Okay.
I've only got 22 of the first 23.
Okay.
But I walked in the record store the other day and they had a sealed copy of volume 2 and a sealed copy of volume 3
Okay. What do they
for
want for
100
them?
bucks each. 100
A
bucks
piece?
each.
Okay.
Yeah. And they were sealed from 1988 and 1989.
Yeah.
It turns out I was at Down Home Music in El Cerrito, and
Okay.
the guy Chris Strakowitz, who is the owner of Down Home Music, who was also the founder of our Huli Records,
Okay. Yep.
they were from his private collection, and he'd never
Oh,
opened
right.
them. Volume
Oh,
1,
right.
they had volume 1 too there, but volume 1 had been opened, and I already had it, so it's actually still there. I think the last time I
That's
was
incredible. Do you
there.
have
But
do you
I just
have them?
what's that?
Do you have them to show? Can you show one of the boxes?
Yeah, I can get one of them down here.
It looks like volume 3 has the Billie Holiday, well, at least some of the Billie Holiday stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Teddy Wilson.
So the box itself looks like this.
Okay.
This is the empty box of volume 3 because
Okay.
it comes in 2 inner boxes, and
Okay.
each inner box holds, well, one of them holds 14 and the other one holds the rest. And then there's books.
Okay. Let's see
And-
those. And
and
who
the
are the
book-
authors of the books?
Michael Kusina, I think.
Okay.
Uh,
Now he's the
So-
he's a producer at Mosaic, I believe. And
yeah. So they're Mosaic Records.
Yep.
And so, I mean, it's got all the information on it and some great pictures. Just, it's hard to,
Yeah. Yeah.
well, and this is, like I say, I just got this laptop about an hour ago.
No, you're doing good.
And I've been, but there's lots and lots of literature and so it's Milt Gabler is the guy that founded the record company,
Okay.
and they made 2,500 each of these box sets.
Okay, yeah. So Milt Gabler, he was born in 1911, died in 2001.
Yeah. So
Responsible for many innovations in recording industry in the 20th century, including being the first person to deal in record reissues, the first to sell a mail order, and the first to credit all musicians on recordings.
right. He's
So,
quite a guy.
and
And
Billy
then,
Crystal is his nephew, of all people.
and then in volume 3,
Uh-huh.
you get this catalog here,
Okay, what's
which
that?
is a complete Commodore jazz recording and discography compiled by Vincent Pilati.
Okay.
It's
Oh, that's awesome.
100 pages of this.
That's in volume 3?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the
That's cool.
it's a great discography of shit. I mean, it's got whether they were 7-inch or 12-inch or 10-inch. Business from their first recordings were from 1929 all the way through 57, June of
Yeah.
57.
He was also a successful songwriter. He wrote the lyrics to Donkashane. How about that? Loki, you probably are fine with either of those. I just would I would go for the OJC. I'm more of an OJC collector than a Japanese collector, but I'm sure they both sound very good.
You don't have to keep me big.
Oh yeah, apologies. Sorry. Well, that's cool. So did you pick that up today?
No, oh, the jazz. No, I got the
Commodore.
laptop today. The box sets I got probably a month ago. I've gotten through the volume 2 all the way.
Okay.
I haven't gotten through volume 3. I have this problem. I buy too many records. You know, and I watch these guys on YouTube and I go, I can't start showing my records because
I know.
I mean, I've got just visibly here on the table waiting to figure out where the hell I'm going to put them, probably 300.
Now, what's your budget? Like, do you have do you keep track of the purchases and try to budget it, or are you basically just building your collection however you want?
Well, I started buying records seriously like in 68. And I
Okay.
had a real budget because I didn't have any money and I was a kid.
Right.
And quit buying records in 85 because I switched over to CDs. And then I started buying records again in, a few, 2016, 2015. But I got heavy back into them in 2021. And then just a bunch of shit happened. My wife passed away.
I'm sorry to
And
hear that.
yeah, it wasn't a huge surprise, but she was a good lady. My mom had passed away a year before and I just retired. I had more money than I knew what to do with. So my budget is if I want it, I can buy it.
Okay.
Which is unreal. I've never had a budget like that. And in the
Now hold on. So when did you start collecting jazz?
Well, I got into a little bit of a jazz kick in the 70s.
Okay.
But really started collecting jazz again after I bought this new stereo.
Okay.
And that was my wife died in June and I got a new stereo and set up by the end of September.
Okay.
And I bought, I'd had the same stereo and the same speakers since 1974 up until that point, which a Yamaha amp and Yamaha speakers, and they sounded great.
Okay.
But I went out and bought a set of the Scala speakers.
Okay.
They sound a lot better.
Hey, Chris. Yeah, I'm sure. That's awesome, Jack.
Yeah. Hi, Chris.
Hey, man. How's it going?
Okay. I bought some records from you. My other YouTube name is Flame and Groove.
Oh, that's
Listen,
right. Okay. Okay.
and
Yeah.
I don't. Well, I usually watch either on a tablet or else on my big screen TV. If I'm watching on the big screen, it's just a pain in the ass to comment because the keyboard and all that shit.
Yeah.
And so I don't comment a whole lot. But
No
I
worries.
watch you guys almost every Friday night. And where were you last Friday night? Watching the World Series.
Just getting issues. Nobody could make it, so we took a break.
No problem.
And I'm gonna try to make it on Friday. I should be able to do like an hour, I think, at least. But I got to get to bed early because I got to get up early. Not that anybody needs to know that, but
No, I saw you come on up here, and I go, whoa, gee, maybe I can try out my machine.
well, yeah, no, it's awesome. What's up, Chris? So I tried to keep the topic West Coast Jazz.
Okay.
I showed a lot, almost everything on my Pacific Jazz stuff, including the Tone Poet stuff.
Okay.
Rob joined for a little bit. We spoke about some of the smaller labels, which he was prattling off, which I can't remember all of them right now. There's a lot of like early 50s West Coast labels, small labels that I would love to collect. Like, what was it? It's on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, there's a bunch of little ones, but and then I was just getting into contemporary. So what do you think about West Coast Jazz?
Me?
Yes.
I mean, it's hit or miss for me, honestly.
Are you listening to a lot of West Coast Jazz these days?
No, absolutely not. Not really. I mean, I do have one that I got recently that's really kick-ass. Just so I can find it real quick. Oh, this one. This one here. This is really good.
Oh, is that new? Did
Yeah,
that come out?
it just came out, I don't know, a month or so ago. It's on the Contemporary Acoustic Sound series. But this one is pretty kick-ass.
Cool.
It's got Jack Sheldon on trumpet, Harold Land on tenor sax. That's why it's so badass, really.
Yeah.
Carl Perkins on piano, and then Curtis Counts on bass with Frank Butler on drums. And it's, like the Jazz Shepherd kind of coin, cool
Yeah.
ball, right?
Yeah.
This was really good, though. I like that one. I mean, it's not that I don't like West Coast Jazz. I just haven't been listening to a lot of it, but
What's the difference between, because I mentioned Dan's argument for cool bop, and I agree with it. But like, what is cool? Like, what would be a cool album that's not cool bop? Because I feel like a lot of the Pacific and contemporaries, I would all say are kind of cool bop.
I don't know. Maybe some of the Chet Baker stuff. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. It's his definition, but
yeah,
I agree with it. I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, and also stuff like this isn't really,
Yes.
bop-ish. It isn't necessarily.
Is that an OG or the reissue?
That's reissue.
It looks really clean.
Well, I mean, it is. It's brand new.
Yeah.
I like this one too, though. I don't think it's necessarily smooth jazz, Sean, like what West Coast jazz is. I think it's just.
Well, hold on that Gil Evans. What are they doing standards on that? I assume since.
Yeah, Great Jazz Standards featuring John Coles.
Oh, Johnny Coles?
Yeah.
Or John Coles?
Yeah, same guy probably.
Yeah, trumpet player, right?
Johnny Coles, yeah.
Yeah, he put out
a record.
Yeah.
So I think that is an indication of West Coast jazz to me too. Is
what?
Big band stuff after the 40s, right?
Well, Johnny Coles, I feel like, isn't he a New York guy? Or maybe not.
Maybe, I don't know.
Let's see.
I'm sure you showed this one, right?
No, I had it here, but I didn't like do a spotlight on it.
Okay. This is a perfect example to me of kind of West Coast jazz. I mean, it's on Pacific jazz, so that kind of makes sense. But
Johnny Coles is a Philly guy, and Gil Evans, let's see where he's from. Canadian.
There you go. Canadians, man, it's all their fault.
So he's kind of an East Coast guy too.
Yeah. I mean, of the labels, like here's a good example to me, kind of West Coast jazz, right?
Oh, that's a good one.
Chet Baker,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it is
Jersey Bounce on that is really good.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like smooth jazz to me is kind of a negative connotation just because of the smooth jazz of the 80s, right?
Agreed. I never use that.
But it is I would say like before that existed, then calling West Coast jazz kind of smoother jazz makes sense to me.
Yep.
I mean, it's like Dave Brubeck, right? Like Dave Brubeck, he was not West Coast necessarily, but it's kind of that whole feel. Bud Shank, Jay, exactly.
Yeah, it's more in your face.
There.
Oh, what do we got
I
here?
got this from Rob the other day.
All right.
Ago.
Okay.
It's got.
Let's see. Dexter, Sonny Chris, Hampton Hawes. Yeah, that's definitely West Coast. Yeah, I think Howard
McGee, Harry Babison, Connie Kay, Trummy Young, Dexter Gordon. I mean, there's just a ton of people. It's only 2 songs, one on each side.
Okay.
Order and Rocks and Shoals.
Can you show the label on that?
Yeah, it's
Let's see.
Like 10 Hampton Halls trio records. Maybe not 10, probably 6 or 7. That's
Nice.
I want to figure out where the camera is.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So that's Savoy's with Chicago, right?
No, I think Savoy's like Newark, New Jersey. Let me see.
Okay.
Hold on. I could be totally wrong. Let me
Used
see.
easily, but
I thought it was an East Coast label.
it is.
They are New York.
Yeah, it is, but it's got some West Coast players on it, so that's why they call it West Coast.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Savoy was pretty shrewd in like their contracts and what they licensed to put out. So probably any opportunity they had to put something out for a good price, they probably did it. And I'm sure other labels did that as well.
1984.
West Coast is cool. I agree, Jeffrey. I mean,
Earthquake Jazz, is that the new West Coast?
yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's see. West Coast to me is basic rhythm section, says Obsolete Media. I don't know if I would say that. I mean, like those Hampton Hawes trio records, I wouldn't call that basic.
I mean, the other thing that you think of automatically is, black dudes versus white guys.
Yes, for sure.
It's not really fair. Like Hampton Hawes is West
There
Coast.
is a huge
you know.
discrepancy in that between West Coast and East Coast. Not complete, but I mean,
Sure.
I think even like Blue Note, the last like lead session with a white dude was the Jerry Montrose record, I think, which is like a 1500 series. And then maybe later on it changed, but
Sure.
for a good chunk of that late 50s, early 60s stuff, it was
Yeah, y'all haven't talked about Art Pepper, man. Come on.
I did mention Art Pepper. I started with some stuff with Art Pepper on it. But yeah, and then we have, I mean, there's a bunch of good stuff here.
Look at that Art Pepper box too.
Which one? The Vanguard?
No, the
Art House one or whatever.
I think it's the
Yeah, that's a good box.
4 LPs.
Yeah, I got that
Kind
one.
of late in his career. They're pretty good.
Marty Page, thumbs down. Come on, Marty Page is great. No, but that's a good example. Like, to me, it's got more arrangement, right? Like Shorty Rogers type stuff. If you go back in
Yeah.
50s, right?
I just got a Shorty Rogers record the other day.
I love Shorty Rogers.
Which one?
Oh, it's got a beautiful jacket.
Kenny Burrell led quite a few Blue Note sessions. Kenny
Nope.
Burrell's a brother, though, right?
Yeah, Kenny Burrell, of course.
Yeah.
They're just putting out KB's Blues. That's coming out.
Well, no, I mean, I'm thinking Jonathan saying Kenny Burrell's a white dude. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
You think about Harold Rumsey? That's fair, Jeffrey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I have that.
I've never seen that. Looks like a Christmas album
Yeah, it's Count Basie.
or an Italian album.
Yeah. That's a good one. I have that.
But it's got a tuba on it. You got to buy it.
Oh, who's playing tuba?
Uh,
I agree. You
Paul-
have to buy that.
Paul Sarmento.
Okay.
3 trombones. Jimmy Guthrie, Zoot Sims, Herbie Geller, Bob Cooper, Bud Shank on sax.
Yep. Lots of West Coast dudes.
Yeah. I get drums, Shelly Man. Piano,
Brewer.
Mario.
Yeah.
This is West Coast too, huh?
No, for
This
sure.
is like a black.
Contemporary?
No,
That's RCA.
RCA.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
is
okay. Yeah, that's a cool
RCA.
cover. Oh, very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Can you show the back? All right.
The back's just like a list of all the players.
Mhm.
That's cool.
The front's got the list of songs. I don't know if you can read them. Or
Look at all those songs. They must be like 4 minutes a piece, maybe
well,
less.
no,
It's a double LP?
no, it's just one song on each side.
Okay.
Those are medleys or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a jam session.
Oh,
It's,
that's cool.
yeah.
I
yeah,
love
it's a
that.
cool- yeah. I mean, they list all the songs that are there, but it's just really a jam session, I think.
Oh, that's
Maybe I
cool.
got this one. No, I got this one mixed up. I probably got it mixed up. Maybe. Who knows?
You got it mixed up, Jack. That's all right.
Yeah, I did. Oh, this is the one that's got no sleeve in the. Oh, it's one of these kind of sleeves. The
Hey, those are weird.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 Those are a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I usually don't use them. What was it? 2022. I got a degritter, and I spent
Wow.
all year degritting all my records and putting them in sleeves because
Oh.
they'd never been in sleeves before.
Yeah.
And moving them because I didn't have room where they were.
You know, another
Yeah,
thing.
According
Sorry.
to my degritter, I've got about 7,500 records.
Jesus. Oh, it keeps count of how many cleanings it's done.
Well, it keeps count of how many cleanings you've done. So I'm sure that I don't have quite that many records, but
That's
How
crazy.
long does the degritter cycle take?
it's got 3, quick, medium, and long.
What do
On
you do?
used records, I always do the long. Sometimes
How-
maybe twice, but
how long is
usually
that?
once. With the dry, about 11, 12 minutes.
That's not bad.
How dry does it get them? Does it get them completely dry, or is there still some?
Well, I keep having it's kind of weird. Every once in a while, you got to check them when you pull them out. Every once in a while, there's 2 or 3 little dots of water.
Yeah.
Brewers-
But you can set the dryer. You can set the time on the dryer.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Oh.
It's
Hey, Mazzy.
anyway. I got this other record, this thing the other day.
What is it? What do we got? Blues.
The blues.
Blues. It's an
Okay.
Italian 6 LP record with all these early blues and jazz artists.
Yeah.
But
What label is that?
it's on the it's on the 6 record set label.
Yeah. That's a good one.
It's an Italian label called The Joker.
Okay.
The discs say Joker. Oh, they only got a hole in one side.
Okay.
Huh.
AJ's asking, do you use distilled water or do you add a surfactant?
Oh, I just use water. Adding a surfactant's a pain in the ass.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Don't need it.
I just use distilled water as well.
All right. So what else we got for West Coast?
Well,
Well,
I mean, I
Amber,
dug
talk
out
about
this. This is still available. I'm looking at one on Discogs United States for $32. This is the mono. I don't have the stereo, but I'm really happy with the mono. The stereo does have the hard panning, so I think the mono is maybe the way to go. And this is AAA, all that stuff.
That's actually a good one.
And then
Yeah, but if you buy the stereo one, you get extra tracks, an extra record on the reissue, don't you?
that's the box.
That's
No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the Sonny Rollins box. No, I don't think so. I think it's the same record. It's just stereo, and it comes with a cover that doesn't look as good
yeah,
for the reissue.
for the reissue. Yeah.
Oh, really? I thought the. I don't know.
I don't think so. So something I think they should do with that if they cared about their business model, they shouldn't listen to this. But what I would like them to do is put out a 2 LP box of Jimmy Woods on Contemporary. So this is Conflict with Jimmy Woods featuring Elvin Jones. And this is his other one, Jimmy Woods. And these are, I forget the years these came out. They're a little later. Let's see what it says it on here anywhere. So this one has Jimmy Woods, Carmel Jones, Howard Land, Andrew Hill, George Tucker, and Elvin Jones. So
Hardly
this-
West Coast then.
well, it's on Contemporary. That's why it
I'll say
qualifies.
That
But no,
sounds-
Carmel Jones. Carmel Jones, is West Coast dude.
I don't know, but is Elvin?
No, but Carmel is. That's
Yeah.
all you need. You just need one, and then it's on.
No,
It's
no,
on.
that's a good example of West Coast jazz.
It's
sorry.
on. It's on.
Yeah.
Okay, and
That is
then
probably too interesting.
this is
to me.
but this is also later Contemporary. So I think, honestly, I think the musicians they just, they went, their own ways. But this one is Jimmy Woods Awakening. It's got Jimmy Woods alto, Joe Gordon and/or Martin Banks on trumpet, which is fantastic. Amos Trice or Dick Whittington piano, Jimmy Pond or Gary Peacock on bass, and then Milt Turner drums. So there's a bunch. There are more West Coast guys on this one.
Yeah.
But this, I think Jimmy Woods not as well known. These records are really cool. They're impossible to get. And this would be a really cool little, because they did the Ornette Coleman box that was just 2 LPs. So they could do this Jimmy Woods 2 LP one. I don't know if people are going to be into this as much as I am, but I think it would be amazing. I have these. I'd probably buy that as well. So, but yeah, I think these would be really cool to reissue, and they're just difficult to get.
Do you have the R Pepper plus 11 or whatever?
Yes, but I have that's in my storage.
Yes, that's a good point. So that's why. So that record is a perfect example of what I think of when I think of like cool West Coast jazz, right? It's
Okay.
like a bigger band, lots of arrangement, and boring as fuck.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah. I'm looking to offload that one.
Yeah. It's just not great, man.
It's Marty Pike on it, or Page, or how do you pronounce his name?
I don't know.
Never get it right.
I'll say, but I mean, that's kind of the thing for me. Like, some of this stuff's really good. Like, I got some Bud Shank records that are awesome, and then I got some that are just like snoozers. You know?
Oh yeah. Well, that's what I showed the Bud Shank with Carmel Jones, New Groove.
Mhm.
That's a solid Bud Shank. The one that I think Impex is doing, it's unique because it's like surf jazz, but
Right.
that's I probably won't get it just because it's like $50 all in. And Rob just found a mono clean copy for like $10. So I'll probably just not buy that one, but I wouldn't mind having that.
So what about Harold Land and Curtis Amy? Yeah. So to me, I don't know, man. Like, yes, those are West Coast dudes, but if I see them, then I'm like, oh, this is not going to be just a bunch of boring white dudes.
Yeah, Harold Land is
Harold Land's awesome. So is Curtis Amy. I mean, Katanga is like one of the best tone poets ever.
Yeah.
Two super exciting records. I don't know.
yeah, Harold Land. He has the what the hell's it called? This one with the roller coaster on the front. There's like the mono and stereo both have different names. He also has the Fox, which was put out by like Adlib, I think the label was.
Sure.
Maybe it wasn't that, but it was on some label, and then Contemporary reissued it. He has a lot of good stuff, and I don't have it because it's expensive. All of those records are like investments. Like
Well,
that a Harold Land box that would be a good move. You know, after they do after Kraft does the Joe Henderson box, which they're not doing.
Andy's got a good question here. Isn't it about time for Acoustic Sounds Contemporary to come up with a new release schedule if the series will continue? So I don't know if it's going to continue or not. I don't know how well it's sold, but we did a video. It was on Rob's channel, and we did the last Contemporary kind of when the list came out, and we just hammered it because it was boring.
Yeah, really
so many boring titles. I mean, this Curtis Counts I got's great. I'd like to get that Leroy Vinegar. That one looks cool, but
and then he did this one. This one, which I have a 70s pressing of. This one's good, but nothing like they have so much stuff in the Contemporary series, like the Prince Lachey with Sonny Chirac, right? I think it's Sonny Chirac. No, not Sonny Chirac. I forget his name, but anyway, those the Cry and Firebirds are the two Prince Lachey records. Sonny Simmons it's with him.
Mm-hmm.
Those two records are again like they're like the Jimmy Woods. You gotta spend $150 on each of those. Like, no matter what copy, like reissue those.
Yeah, I mean, reissue a bunch of the later Contemporary stuff. It's super badass, But anyway, like I'm trying to find an example. Let me think here. Like an example of a record that's kind of boring.
I heard that, Jeffrey. So Jeffrey says, rumor is we're getting the first Shelly Man at the Blackhawk, right?
Yep.
Out of the 4. And then, oh no, maybe he's not referencing that. But I did hear that they're doing the Blackhawk. This Benny Golson New York is definitely confirmed. And then Art Pepper Smack, that's a pretty expensive one to get.
That'd be cool. Let me see here.
Be cool.
Here's
stuff is really
boring Pacific Jazz records.
Really good, great stuff.
Yeah, this is a good one. Okay. So for me, just for me.
Okay.
Here's some Pacific Jazz stuff that it's just okay for me.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I got you.
Oh, no. What happened?
Just stop.
Stop touching it. Here we go.
Okay.
Buddy Rich Big Band.
Okay. What's that on?
Pacific Jazz. Pacific or whatever, I mean, Buddy Rich, like, you can buy his records all day long. Yes, he was a great drummer. But just I don't know, there's something about him that's just not that just don't hit me,
Thank you, Budget File. It's Smack Up. Yeah, I agree. I have
that much.
I have Buddy Rich with Lionel Hampton and it's a famous trio, and it's on it's on Clef, I think, or Norgran or something like that. It's really good.
Yeah. This is another one I just didn't hit me. It sounds great. Good music and all that, but
I skipped that one.
Kind of boring. Oops. Here's another one that just didn't really.
I like that one. I guess I haven't revisited it, so maybe. But I remember.
I'm gonna revisit it too. I don't know, but I mean, it sounds amazing, but maybe it's just what I'm interested in listening to right now, and that ain't it. I don't know.
No, that's not it. Because I feel like, I hope that. Well, I'm not going to speak for you, but I just feel like if you can objectively like something, even if you're not into it, if there's like a level of, I don't know, quality to it that you can like I feel like I recently got Miles Davis Blue Haze, and I haven't listened to Miles in a while. I listened to that record like 4 times in a row. It was incredible, and I'm not really like into listening to that early stuff right now, but it's like undeniably awesome. So there is. So if you don't like it, you don't like it. It's fine.
No, but I mean, like those records, most of them sound really good, right? They're really well made, like arrangement wise, and the musicians are top notch. Just this didn't catch me right now. I got to really listen to some Black Jazz.
Chris is never going to catch you.
Probably not. That's probably true. That's probably true.
But I just remember it was.
That is actually an interesting point. You get fatigued when you listen to too much of the same genre of jazz. I think that's true. That's a good point.
I think. I guess
Well,
for me,
listen
I
to
agree
jazz.
with that. I agree with that. I think to go deeper into it, I feel like there's in my own collecting, I have a narrative that, it's not like some like sophisticated, like, like well researched thing, but it's like the stuff I'm interested in now. And that's why I never go to a record store. And I know a lot of people do this, but like, and which is great, but like I never like go to a record store and randomly buy stuff. Very almost 0% of the time now. I just never do it. I'll go to a record store and I know what I want. And if something's interesting, I'll stream it to make sure that it's in line with what I'm looking for, what my collection needs, that I think it needs. So anyway, the thing is, I feel like the reason why that made me think of it is because who said it? Yeah, it's just like, it's not that I get tired of it, but like I need to create like a narrative of learning almost, and like education and interest and all this kind of stuff. And that's why I'll get hooked on a label. Like labels to me are a great way to kind of study something, because it sets like an artificial boundary of like, okay, who created the label? What was the vision? How many records were put out on it? What was the time period? Who were the artists? Etc. And it's like, you can kind of like wrap your head around that, as opposed to like the entire canon or something.
Mike's the Chat GPT of jazz collecting.
No, I feel like I don't want to be a ChatGPT.
That's so different than how I lately. I just kind of go in the store and look at shit and buy whatever looks good. Because it's,
I don't know. Yeah,
but
that might be the way to do it.
The problem with that is I got so much shit to listen to. Even when I like something, I can't listen to it all the time. And so I got to slow down a little bit. But do you listen to jazz all the time or just some of the time?
All the time.
All the time? Because I just started listening to it. And actually, I've been listening to a lot of classical.
Oh, I do. I listen. Yeah. Classical is the other genre I'm getting into.
And then, but I've also, I still listen to all the rock and roll shit that I've listened to ever since I was a kid,
Yeah. Yeah. I listen to a little bit of that. Like if it's like Friday and my wife and I are like chilling out, I'll put on like she loves Bruce Springsteen. So I'll put those albums on. We have Fleetwood Mac and stuff like that. Like I'll put those on, but that's really not like that's not for me to focus and listen on. Like when generally my listening is really jazz only. It just it just like I
myself now, any listening is just for me.
Well, I think it's not even like just listening. It's just like when my mind kind of goes, I just start thinking about something and then I start researching it and then I start listening and then it just happens. And then also I heavily invested in this. I want to take advantage of it, and we have the channel, so like it's good for me to think of fun things to talk about. And
absolutely, and you do a real good job of it.
Maybe.
Well,
let's not go too far.
My retirement scheme for like the last 2 or 3 years is Rachel is I'm on the West Coast, so Rachel is on.
Oh, you're early then. Yeah,
Rachel is on way before I wake up.
Yeah,
so she's usually on when I'm getting up and taking a shower and getting dressed. And some days it's great, and some days it's just bicker. It's whatever.
Yeah.
But,
I want to look at Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't interrupt that. Continue.
Being retired is like great because all I do is like read books and listen to music.
Yeah.
Or watch. Actually, I'm watching the World Series on the TV now because I've got YouTube on my brand new laptop. Because
there you go.
World Series happening right now.
Yeah.
Game 5?
0-0 in the bottom of the first.
Oh shit! I didn't realize it was on.
I want to see a bunch of contemporary records.
Yes, but before you do, Jack, are you on our Discord?
I am a, I am, I went there. I'm a member, I guess. I'm not like I say, I'm not much of a poster. Maybe I'll post more when I've got this thing where
Yeah.
the
Well,
board's
that's
right
what I was
here.
going to ask, because you could download the app natively on your laptop, and it makes the program. You know,
Yeah,
the
I've
app
got
easier
it.
to use.
Actually, I've got it on my computer, but I hardly ever, I don't really,
Oh,
I'm an
no, that's
old man.
fine.
I don't really got a whole lot to say.
No, it's fine. I just wanted to make sure you were up on it. But yeah, no,
Aware of
that's
it.
fine.
Yeah.
You you hang out as
You
much as
need
you
to,
want,
next
or
time you
don't.
make t-shirts, you need extra large with pockets.
So
Pocket.
Mazzy's saying that he swings back and forth, I think, with jazz. After the Vinyl Me Please Miles set, I've gotten off jazz for a while. That was a pretty big box set. You did all the ABs with the MoFi stuff too. And then honestly, like I saw I think you did like 5 new bands uh, video. And I just feel like, whatever you have coming in, you want to,
Well,
you'll be
I've been
interested in.
I've been a member of what Yep Rock calls their completist club, where you pay a set fee at the beginning of the year and you get everything they release. And so I get a lot of new music from Yep Rock that isn't particularly the stuff I would normally get, but a lot of it's really good. A lot of
That
it.
sounds cool.
Yeah,
That's
I think they used to call it the completist. When I started, the real draw was that when their acts came to town, they'd give you a free ticket. But then COVID happened and their acts weren't touring anymore, and so that quit. But it's still, I don't know how much it is, but I get every LP they release every year. So I get a
Okay.
lot of stuff. I have no idea what it is, and I listen to it, but
Jack, I feel like
sometimes,
you're throwing darts at music, which is great. I appreciate that.
well, you
Chris, you're
never
big.
know. It's funny. I watch these guys get up and talk about all their favorite bands, and none of them talk about my favorite bands. So, but I mean, Dave Alvin is one of my favorite bands. I've seen him lots of times, and anything he's into, I'll get into.
jazz.
That's not Woody Allen. That's Groucho Marx. This quote: "I would never join a club that would have someone like me as a member." Right? Or am I
Yes,
mistaken?
that was the Hunter Thompson said that too. I don't know.
Oh my gosh! No, there had to be one person who said it first.
I don't know who
We have
said
right
it
now
first.
Woody Allen, Hunter S. Thompson, and Woody Allen. Oh, he
Quoted
quoted it. He quoted it.
Yeah, and I can't. Hunter Thompson quoted a lot of stuff, but that I didn't know, and I don't remember. But I remember him saying that somewhere.
Chris, you were going to show some records.
Yeah, let's look at a bunch of the contemporaries. This is kind of loosely in reverse order of when they were released, kind of, sort of. Well, I know that well, though. So this one just came out. This is,
Oh
I
yeah.
wouldn't call this West Coast jazz, though, in the, normal
Yeah.
sense. But yeah, this is
So-
contemporary. This came out. Blackstone Legacy, totally kick ass.
Who's on it? It's Woody Shaw, Lenny White. Is there West Coast guys on it? I don't like. Is Lenny White a West Coast guy? I don't know.
No idea. It's so much later, it doesn't really matter because it's like 70s, right? So Woody Shaw, Gary Bartz, Benny Maupin, George Cables, Ron Carter, Clint Houston, and Lenny White. It's a little bit of everybody. I'm gonna take it out the fucking sleeve and we're gonna get back in here.
Yeah, I don't think that's a West Coast.
Well, it's on contemporary, man. Okay.
Yeah, they're all from New York, I think.
It's later. It's like 70, 71. So, a lot of those kind of definitions
East Coast.
kind of fell apart on the post-bop side of the house. You know what I mean? Like there isn't that much. I guess, some of the really boring West Coast shit would be like the later 70s disco shit from not Herbie Man. God, who am I thinking of? Fuck. remember his name, but anyway, like you know,
Maynard Ferguson.
yeah, it's Maynard Ferguson, dude. Oh,
I
yeah,
can't believe I could get that.
yeah, that's exactly right.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Another one,
everybody.
it's great. Phineas Newborn Jr., please send me
Oh,
some.
yeah.
You know,
Is that solo or trio?
no, it's trio with Ray Brown and Elvin Jones, just like the two
Damn.
best
Holy smokes.
brothers ever to play. You know,
Oh, that sounds
Phineas
great.
Newborn record earlier today. Not that one, but I listened to one today.
this is great. This is I think 80 something. Okay.
Yeah.
It says 1989. So these aren't in really chronological
Oh,
order.
yeah.
Anyway, Art Farmer PhD. This is a really good record. Can you
I
bring
want
it up?
to know where they took those pictures. If it's like Stanford's campus or Princeton's campus or whatever.
Maybe.
They got those arcs. Those
Get these out
arches.
of the shit. Hang on.
Is anybody still collecting the Candid reissues?
Why are you changing the subject while I'm showing?
Well,
you?
these are what the people are asking.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'm still getting the Canada. Listen, they're great. These are probably the best, my
Boom.
favorite 3 contemporary records. Of course, these are at the Village Vanguard, so they're not really West Coast, since considering they were recorded in New York.
Yeah, so I think contemporary they opened up more than the West Coast in the 70s.
Yeah, for sure. Here's a good one though that's really West Coasty. It's from the 80s. This is Buddy Shank and Shorty Rogers, California concert.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is 85 or so, I think. Let me see. 85. Damn, look at me. This is fucking great. That's a really good record, man.
Nice.
It's like $5. I think I paid. No, I didn't pay that much for this. This is old, but anyway, this is a good example of like super cheap heat. I mean, I would call this West Coast jazz for sure. But it's Buddy Shank and Shorty Rogers, right? In California. Yeah, the book of those are great. What do we got here? Classic West Coast jazz. Barney Kessel.
I have a 10-inch board. Oh, I have some 10-inch stuff I could show.
I've got
Working
some-
out with Barney Kessel Quartet. All his records, all the ones I have of his are great. It's got him, Marvin Jenkins on piano and flute, Jerry Good on bass, and Stan Popper on drums. Yeah, super West Coast stuff there. And this is I actually like this record a lot, but I think this is a really good example of, what people think of when they think of West Coast jazz. Andre Previn Trio.
Yeah.
You know, Andre Previn, what I don't know, is like, it's him, Red Mitchell on bass, Frankie Cap on drums. So Andre Previn was more like classical jazz kind of.
He was like, how like Wynton Marsalis played like on quartets, and then he'd also go out and do like Bach.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah, he did classical music too.
Kind of he moves back and forth in his records.
No, I don't think of this as like West Coast necessarily at all.
Well, who's on that with him? Because Ornette's from Texas, right?
Yeah, it's Ornette, Don Cherry, Percy Heath, or Red Mitchell, and Shelly Manne on drums. So there you go.
So Shelly Manne, there you go.
Yeah. Greatness.
The rest of the guys sound like they're New Yorkers, I think.
Yeah. Here's a bunch of West Coast dudes, and this is a good record here. Here's a really good record here.
Yeah, I'd like to pick that up. I kind of want to get an OG.
Yeah, I mean, this one sounds good. You can probably find an OG cheaper.
Right?
But to me, this is like a good example of West Coast jazz that I actually really like. It's not boring.
Yeah, that's a great point. We did a we made the poll winners. The poll winners I did with the three of our faces.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
That took a while to get right.
There's that other one record.
Yeah, that's great. Those are going to be put out individually. You should just get the box. They're, if you're a jazz collector and you want a big jazz collection, those Ornettes are must-haves.
This one's actually pretty cool too. I like this one a lot actually. Shelly Manne's The 3 and the 2.
Shorty Rogers, Jimmy Jufrey, and Russ Freeman.
Yeah.
Nice.
Really, really good. And this is a couple. I think this has multiple groups. Yeah, side one's Shelly Manne with Shorty Rogers, Jimmy Jufrey, and then the side two's so it's a trio and then a duo.
Yeah, Previn conducted as well.
Yep.
Yeah,
Shelly Manne's on with three
I
contemporary
should probably
LPs.
look into more Andrew Previn stuff. I've largely ignored him.
As much as I love Art Pepper, though, this record's a total snoozer for me. But it's got some great. I mean, it's got
It just
some great
sounds
players
hacky.
and stuff.
It's real hacky to me. Like, look, I mean, the musicianship, they're all great musicians. I'm not denying that. I really think it's the arrangements that's the issue. In my, it's not even an issue. It's just for my taste. I'm just not crazy about that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure there are people that love that record. I know there are people that love that record.
Here's another example. I mean, I like this record, but it's kind of a perfect example of,
Uh-huh. Yeah. He did a bunch. Yeah. He did one like Shelly Man, and it's like, look, Mom, I'm drumming, or like something like that.
Yeah, these are okay. Not my favorite. Now this one I love this record. This is great. So this is this is really good. Love
Wow,
this
so
one.
you got a lot of those contemporaries.
Yeah, I got a bunch. I mean, I used to buy everything they put out until my
Nice.
mind, right?
Yeah.
Now these three, speaking of Hampton Halls, these are kick ass. I've got two OGs or two OJCs and one OG, but I've got these sessions.
Yeah. Who plays guitar on those?
Let's see.
I think there's a guitar player on them.
Jim Hall. Hampton Halls,
Jim
Jim
Hall.
Hall, Red Mitchell, and then Bruz, Bruz Freeman on drums. Now, these are great. So this would be a fun box set too for contemporary.
That would be. I think how many are there altogether?
There's just three.
Okay.
I think. I don't know. I love this record too, but it's kind of bordering on, it's not. This is good.
That's the one that I photoshopped.
Yeah. This one's good though. It's Barney Kessel, Shelly Man, and Ray Brown. Like, dude, those three dudes are like, super badasses.
The cover is ridiculous.
My favorite Pepper is late era too, dude. 80s Art Pepper is the best.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I've recently learned that from listening to Notes and Tones and Rob and
And
all
me.
the guys who've been collecting Art Pepper. Because I like his early stuff like on Mode and Jazz West, like his early stuff I really enjoyed. And people were like, no, you got to listen to like when he comes back after his heroin addiction because it's like another level.
Well, it's on Galaxy, man.
Yeah, so I started listening to some of that stuff and it's really good.
This one's not my favorite.
Oh, I have a mono copy of that.
It's fine. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of this. This is a mono copy.
I got it for $6. So I mean, I can't complain.
I just for $1.
There you go. That's why it was so stupid that they reissued it.
Yeah, no, I think so too.
Oh, it was like, I don't know.
I already showed the Art Pepper. I have the mono too, I guess. Yeah, I got the mono too of that one. That one's really good.
Yeah.
But it's also him playing with a West Coast rhythm section. I mean, it's freaking
No,
Miles.
East Coast Rhythm Section.
That's what I meant. East Coast rhythm section. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Red
Miles,
Garland,
Miles group.
Paul Chambers, and Philly Joe Jones. So
Throw Coltrane on there.
I'm almost done. I got a few more.
I got two I want to show.
Here's another Hampton Halls. It's really good. I like this one. Barney Kessel playing standards. It's pretty good. There's 3 or 4 of these. I think this is volume 2. Oh shit, that one's good. And then the last one is this other Hampton Halls trio. So
Oh, it looks cool.
Yeah.
Now who
all these contemporaries are completely out of order, and I got to figure it out and put them back.
who plays with him on that one with the yellow cover? Does he have like a core trio that it like,
I don't know, but let's see.
or does he mix it up every record?
Oh, it's him and Red Mitchell on bass, and then a guy named Chuck Thompson on drums. So,
Okay.
but no, all this Hampton Halls stuff sounds great, man. I love them.
I have this one. Hampton Hawes. This is The Green Leaves of Summer. I think this is trio. Is it not trio? Yeah. So this one is Hampton Hawes, Monk Montgomery, so one of the Montgomery brothers, and then Steve Ellington, one of the Ellington brothers. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think there's any relation. But this one's good. I nominated this one for the worst cover just because I feel like the music is so badass, and like this looks very clean cut. Like, too clean cut for this record, in my opinion. I feel like it doesn't represent the energy correctly.
Yeah.
So, and then I did want to show, I have 2 10-inch records. One is contemporary. This is 10-inch Barney Kessel. This is not a particular, I mean, I think I got this for $5 from Jazz Record Center. Or no, I got it in New Jersey somewhere. But I got this for $5, and It's an early contemporary. It's C2508. Obviously a mono. It's got, I'll pull up the wax. It's got a beautiful deep groove, contemporary mono yellow label. Look at that.
Nice.
And it features Barney Kessel, Bud Shank, Arnold Ross, Harry Babison, and then Shelly Man on drums. And for $5, I mean, come on. They're doing, let me see, they do an Ellington song, a George Shearing. They do another Ellington song and 2 Barney Kessel songs. So there's a good mix on here.
Yeah. I mean, so, I don't want to shit on West Coast Jazz. I still like a lot of it, but.
And then this on the Pacific Jazz label. Chris, do you have Pacific Jazz titles you can grab?
Yeah.
But this is the first Pacific. I mean, I assume this is PLJP. So this is PLJP1, right? So I'm pretty sure this is the first Pacific Jazz. This is with Jerry Mulligan, Chet Baker. Who else is on this? This is Chico Freeman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chico Freeman, part of this group. And who's this guy?
I don't know. Look on the back.
Von Whitlock. I guess that's Von Whitlock.
Huh.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's the quartet, and this is a killer record. This would be something to reissue. Maybe it's like a 12-inch or something. Throw some other tracks on it, but it's this is like I feel like I would argue this is like the definition of cool bop.
Yeah.
And it's early, like Chet Baker on trumpet. It's just like there was so much potential and energy that this label and these musicians were about to unleash, that it's really just cool to see like the early stuff that's really good. There was definitely an energy and an excitement around it. You could hear it in the music. It's awesome.
You said something a minute ago I wanted to comment on. You said that one of the 10 inches was a mono. Isn't every 10 inch a mono pretty much?
Oh yeah, probably. Well, the thing is, so 10 inches, I think the last one, I mean, they're still making them now for certain artists, but like back in the day before it switched to a more standard 12-inch, I think 55 is probably the latest you're going to get a 10-inch.
Yeah.
I don't think 56. I think by that time, everybody was really just doing 12 inches. But 54, I think, is kind of the cutoff for a lot.
Yeah, they weren't really there for very long. I mean, how long were the 10 inches around? 3 or 4
Right,
years?
because like they did, basically, it was like 78s. Then there were some type of format wars. You had RCA with the 7-inch 45s, right? Something like that, right?
Yep.
And you'd stack them on that player with the big peg thing.
Yeah.
And then you also had the LP. So Columbia came out with the LP 10-inch. And people get this wrong all the time, unintentionally, but the LP long playing record, when Columbia patented it, I think RCA may have had one too, but when they patented it, that was a 10-inch record, and 12-inch for some classical stuff, but 10 inches are LPs. And for example, okay, so here's a this is a Sinatra Christmas 10-inch, and you can see right up in the corner, LP.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an LP 10-inch. It doesn't. All it means is basically it's a 33. That's really what it meant. Long playing.
Yeah, I mean, there's I don't have any, but
The retailers wanted 10-inch because they had all the fixtures were still 10-inch.
that makes
Correct.
sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Well, also not even the retail. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you include the record companies, that's also why like vinyl isn't black, but shellac is black, and you wanted to basically make it look familiar, I guess. I mean, maybe I don't know what they were thinking, but the 10-inch was the same as the 78. The black was the same as, because you can make vinyl any color you want. It's not naturally black, right? As we've learned.
Yeah.
But they made it black to look like a
Vinyl
78.
78 too.
And shellac is made from beetle excrement. All right, I'm just going to stop here. I feel like every time I mention this, people drift.
I mean, isn't that what this week is beetle excrement? No.
Oh!
Oh.
Woo! Is that okay? So I don't follow that, but is that single like available to stream? Are people listening to it? Or are they waiting? This is the
Well,
Now
it
and
comes
Then,
out
the Lost
tomorrow.
Beatles.
I think
Okay.
it comes out tomorrow.
Okay.
Mm.
Could you imagine if the Beatles go to like #1 on the charts? That'd be
That
nuts.
won't. That won't happen. There's no way.
I don't know. No one's heard the song. Who knows?
No way, dude.
I don't know enough about it. I should probably watch some videos. I'm sure Mazzy broke it down. I'd like to know like when John Lennon, what year it was that this is from when he's singing. I have no clue.
I don't care.
Let us know in the comments below.
Or don't. Someone needs to start a Beatles channel with that. What Beatle excrement? That'd be good. Oh man.
Yeah, that's cool. Like if you do it in a loving way, you could do anything.
Yeah, Dave, that's a new record they put out, not like one song somebody found in a closet somewhere. You know?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. No Beatles here, bro.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I couldn't do Beatles if I wanted to.
No, me either.
I
Oh, I
don't know enough.
No, me either.
Um,
What else, man?
Well, I can go for a little longer. So I wanted to show. So I started with Pacific Jazz.
Okay.
I already show those, but do you have any Pacific Jazz titles outside of the Tone Poets?
Yeah.
All right, what do you got?
Let me find them. You're reckoning my record storage here. Oh, here's some. So, get me big, yo.
Okay, I got you.
Here's the earliest one I think I have. This is Bud Shank and Bob Cooper, flute and oboe. Which is
Oh,
cool.
that looks cool.
Yeah.
Who plays oboe?
Bob Cooper, I guess, because Bud Shank don't. Let me see. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. Bud Shank's playing flute on this. Bob Cooper's playing oboe. Howard Roberts on guitar. Don Pearl on bass. Chuck Flores on drums. There's violin, viola, cello. It's got strings too, but it's actually, interesting record.
We got Chet Baker. I started the stream with showing Chet Baker sings, and the record behind me right here is Chet Baker.
There's one Jerry Mulligan Paris concert.
Okay.
We're live in Paris. Now, it's funny we put live in quotes. Like, was it really live? I don't know.
Probably not. Isn't that weird? Like, there's a Clifford Brown, Max Roach album called, it's like I forget what it is. Oh, God. Anyway, it's not a live record. It's a studio record.
Yeah. This one's interesting. It's Jerry Mulligan Songbook Volume 1. It's Jerry Mulligan in the sax section. So you got Zoot Sims, Al Cohn, Lee Konitz, Alan Eager on it. And then, the rest of the band.
Cool.
What do we got next? Oh, I got a bunch of stuff.
Oh, that looks good.
Andrew Wilson. Yeah.
Is that a big group?
Yeah, it's Les McCann with Gerald Wilson's orchestra, basically.
You know what's interesting about that cover? You see how stereo is stylized there?
Yeah.
That is a sign of Liberty. Liberty used that stereo. So like there's Blue Notes with that stereo logo.
True.
And other labels too.
Here's another Les McCann. This one's got Joe Pass, Paul Chambers, Paul Humphrey. It's pretty cool. I like this one. I mean,
I've never seen that one.
what's next? Another Les McCann.
Damn, you got a lot of Les McCann.
Les McCann Limited. Well, I got stuck on him for a little bit.
Now,
This
what's
was
the
really-
limited? What's the deal with the limited? Is that just like his signature group or something?
I don't know. I think it's just a trio. It's him with Leroy Vinegar on bass and Ron Jefferson on drums. So I don't know what the limited means, but yeah.
Let me
These
see.
are cheap. I paid $3 for this one. So this one is really good.
Oh, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, this was great, dude. So it's Les McCann presents the dynamic jazz organ of Richard Groove Holmes. So
I want that back. Send it back to me.
Ron Jefferson. Yeah, this Mike sent this away to me. I mean, it's beat up, but it's a really good record. I love it. That's the first kind of set.
Okay.
And I've got more that I'm going to show. I just don't know where they're at. It's the ones I have organized, right? Let's see. All right, next up we've got. Okay, this one I don't like. So this is Bud Shank in the sax section, arranged by and conducted by. Like that's a death knell to me almost when it says arranged and conducted by. This means it's going to be super, arranged and conducted. Basically, it's just meh.
Also, I'm not like some metrosexual, but like he's got the unibrow going. Like, if you're gonna shave, just
He's
shave.
get in there, man. He's
Just,
getting in there.
just get in there. He's shaving anyway.
This one is weird. I think this was like, I don't know. It's weird. The Taste of Tequila. It's the Mariachi Brass featuring Chet Baker.
Oh, didn't they reissue that recently somewhere?
I don't know why they would. It's not great. I mean, it's got Speedy Gonzalez on it.
I feel like somebody
So,
did.
Yeah, well, if they did, I don't know why they would. But anyway,
There's nothing wrong with it, Loki. I wanted to just say I feel like it's I'm not trying to be a high maintenance, criticism.
you know the most common is Jazz Bum there is. Give me a break. Jerry Mulligan and Chet Baker Thomas is a good one. I think this might be a comp. I don't remember.
Is that okay? It looks like a reissue cover almost.
It is. It's Jazz Milestone series, so it's guaranteed to be a
Okay.
reissue.
Okay.
Well, it's probably got the 10-inch you showed on it. Who knows? Okay, this one's really
Oh,
weird.
maybe.
I actually like this one. This is Butt Cake. Oh shit.
Oh yeah. Don't they do like Beatles songs on that or something?
Yeah, it's called Magical Mystery. Bud Shank. It's got let's see. I Am the Walrus is on it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really weird. Pretty cool though. It's like 60s trying to be psychedelic and shit. I guess I don't know. I don't know how much. I think this might be the only Jazz Crusaders record I have. I actually like
Okay.
it. Good. What else we got? I already showed this one. And then
Oh, that's a great one.
yeah, I like that one a lot. What else we got here? I actually don't have that much Pacific Jazz.
I'm gonna do a poll.
Okay.
All right, so start a poll. I mean, I could do what West Coast label do you prefer, contemporary Pacific Jazz, or we could do musicians. What do you want to do, Chris?
What are you talking about?
I'm gonna do a poll in the chat.
Oh, I don't know. What's your idea? Figure
Okay.
it out.
Well, what West Coast label do you prefer?
What are you gonna list like 15 of them or what?
Well, just contemporary and Pacific Jazz. That's all we're showing.
Okay, cool. That's fair. Oh, bog down the show with a poll.
Oh, come on. I thought it'd be fun.
It might be. I do not have Birth of the Cool, but I want it. I mean, that's Birth of the Cool is,
I saw that online. Somebody listed it for like $2, well under how much it goes for,
yeah.
and I didn't buy it.
This is, I think, my favorite Les McCann out of all the Pacific Jazz ones I have. It's Les McCann from Top of the Barrel. It's a live record. It's really good. That one. What else we got? We're getting close to the end here. Oh, Katanga. That's the best one out of all of them, of course.
All right, poll is started.
Come on, Mike. Pay attention.
Yeah,
Katanga.
I showed that.
I'm sure you did.
I showed all the tone poets already.
You got that one already?
Yeah, I did that and that.
This one was a $5 record on Acoustic Sounds for a while.
And that
Actually,
lineup is killer on that.
It really is. It's really good. What else I got? Showed that. Showed that. Am I done? Oh, and then I have this weird anthology. West Coast Jazz Anthology. It's just a bunch of different shit from all the records I already have, probably.
Yep.
That's it. That's all I got. Pacific Jazz. I would definitely pick contemporary myself over Pacific Jazz all day long.
Well, I don't want to lead anybody, but contemporary is winning so far.
It should.
Mike, is this the record you thought was live?
No, it's live at Basin Street,
Oh, okay.
but that is a good one too. What is that? Yeah, I'd like to get that as well.
Yeah,
This is a 1972 Clifford
Is it
Brown.
reissue or-
But what this is it's his demo tape. He made it
Hmm.
himself,
Oh, right.
and it was so good that they signed him and made records with him,
Oh, right. That's good to
and
know.
they forgot about it, and they released it in '72 when they found it.
I need to get there. I feel like there aren't that many Clifford Brown. Like there's like 4 MRCs, and then he's sideman on a few MRCs. There's that one Pacific. There's that you just showed, and then there's the European stuff. That's it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's all good.
True. From what I've heard, anyway.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
I would love. Speaking of Emerson, they need to reissue all those Emerson records, man.
Well, I got the Helen Merrill, which has Clifford Brown. I feel like that's why people want that record. not
Talking about
not
the Max
'cause of her.
Roach, the Max Roach, Clifford Brown stuff on Emerson. I mean, Chad did
Yeah.
what? Study and Brown, I think it's called. Right? Is that what it's
Oh.
called?
Where's all the Brubeck? I only
fair.
have Time Out.
I got like 30 Brubeck records, but they're all over the place.
I had Jazz Goes to College on Columbia, but I sold it.
Yeah,
It's
early
a good
on,
record. Doesn't sound that great though.
I got obsessed with brew. You want to see a brew record that sounds like total shit?
Of
So I
course.
found it.
Oh, I think I know what you're gonna show.
Well, I sold one of the ones I didn't
Oh,
like.
which one is it? You've shown this before. I know what it is. It's a
Here it is. This is a terrible label. Avoid these at all cost.
oh no,
This
I
one
was
here.
thinking something else. It looks good.
Yeah, it looks good. That's why I bought it. It sounds like shit, dude. It's on Crown.
Oh,
Crown's a horrible label.
isn't Crown like?
It's just shit, like shitty budget, like grocery store crap from back in the day.
Okay, all right.
Really bad. Anyway, yeah, I wonder if now this is interesting. What about God? You ruined my record storage tonight. Good shit everywhere. Charlie Ventura, is he West Coast?
I don't know.
Let's see. Didn't really say, but this is a really good record. Weird label. Craftsman. You ever any Craftsman records?
No.
It's a rare bird right there, man. It's worth about $2 though.
Charlie Ventura was born in Pennsylvania.
Damn it!
Died in New Jersey.
No, that's not West Coast, then, is it? Anyway, that Crown record sucks. Here's another Crown record though. It's actually I was thinking of this guy, not Charlie Ventura. This record is super cool. It sounds like shit too, but it's Holiday Casino on stage with Charlie Barnett. If you see this, you should buy it. It's like a $2 record. It's probably hard to find because it's just weird. But what's cool is he like led an orchestra. You know, it's like big band for sure. But what's neat of it is it's totally fake. It's not on stage at all, right? Like it opens up with like slot machine noises and like craps table sounds and shit.
God.
And then he's acting like he's doing a show and he's like announcing it and shit. But you can tell it's totally fake. Dude, look at the quality. Look at the. Looks like somebody made the cover out of like cutouts from a magazine or something.
Yeah, the cover's okay. It's not.
The
I've seen
cover's
worse.
cool. It's like kitschy, right? Like
Yeah,
that's why I keep that one. But
Yeah.
anyway,
that's cool.
these are all.
Reminds me,
Okay.
there's like some Dean Martin records where he's like live in Tahoe, and
Yeah.
it has that kind of like look.
Yeah, I mean, all these records. Those last few I showed.
Spinorama.
I got like 2 cubes of like.
Who's
record-
the? You know, I was thinking when you showed Crown, I was thinking of King. Who's the on King? He has a lot of records that you have. King
What,
records.
Oh, King. Oh yeah, dude. That would be. You had to ask me. I went blank. Hang on.
It's I forgot the
Earl
guy's
Bostic.
name.
Earl Bostic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got it.
cool shit. Here's a cool cover of one of his.
Yeah.
I need to do a video about Earl Bostic.
Yeah, that would be cool.
He was a really badass.
I want Felipe to do a video on you to hip.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
He
He
has
got an OP recently.
he
didn't
has like a lot of her records. I don't know if he has the European stuff. I think there was a couple European records that she did, but he's got everything else.
Steven, get Rush out your mouth, bro. Come on now.
Was he- Hey man, how's it going?
We're definitely beyond Beatles, Food In, and Rush. It's fair.
All right, I can rip through a few West Coast things that I have that are well worth showing. Unless Jack, do you have anything you want to show?
Well, you said you were talking Brubeck. I've got some Brubeck
Oh, yeah.
records.
Oh, let's
do.
check them out.
This is like the new Brubeck in Montreux. It's with
Okay.
his kids, I think.
Is it any good?
It's
Yeah. No.
well, let me just preface this because I've been consuming, getting so many records that I probably only listened to any of them once.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
fair.
Yeah.
You know, it's Dave Brubeck Trio with Jerry Mulligan in Berlin.
That's cool.
Trying to
Okay.
think.
I'll be down with that.
Yeah.
The West Side Story.
I've never
Okay.
seen that.
Yeah, I've never seen that either.
Yeah, Dave Brubeck Quartet plays the West Side Story.
Cool.
6. Here we go.
I've never seen that either.
Brubeck Quartet Sensational Nightclub Recordings.
Smallville.
Pretty good. I just listened to this.
Storyville.
Storyville. Yeah.
Got that for $5.
That's a good one.
Cool.
Storyville.
Ooh, red. Nice.
Yeah, this is the OG Red
Oh,
Fantasy.
that looks great. Great cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, my jazz record store is a little tiny place called Dave's in Berkeley, and Dave seems to have a supplier that was in charge of all the fantasy samples
Oh, wow.
for years, and when he retired with a basement full of samples.
Okay.
Dave's always got promo copies of shit.
That's awesome.
A lot of stuff. Sometimes you'll see stuff in there that's 30 years old and still sealed because they're from. Anyway, that's what he said. I don't know that for a fact, but
Yeah, that's possible.
what's that?
It's possible.
It's possible. I mean, he's in Berkeley. Fantasy's in Berkeley.
Yeah, exactly.
Drove right by it the other day. But Dave's a real small shop, but he's got lots of good jazz. I think the first time I went in there, I bought the box set of Tina Brooks from Mosaic.
Oh, yeah.
For like
Very good.
$90 or 75, or it was. Oh, and I got the Who box set from 1981 in Germany. They're from Polydor in Germany.
Okay.
They're all real flimsy covers, but they sound real good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Anyway, Newport 58.
Greatness. Love that one.
Okay. Great year.
The twofer with Time Out and Gone with the Wind.
Okay. It's weird.
That is
Well,
weird.
it was a twofer. It was pretty cheap.
I'm just kidding.
Time Out.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then this one's a Columbia Record Club edition. Brubeck's right now.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
real early. And
Yeah.
then
Fantasy Studio has been gone for a couple years.
I got this for $8. And this is, I think it's 3 LPs from Book of the Month Club,
Oh,
Okay.
interesting.
which
You
is
know, does it say which 3 LPs? If not, I mean, we don't have to.
no, it's a compilation. It's just 3 LPs long.
Oh, I
It's
see.
got a book in there, and it's it's called Early Fantasies.
Yeah. Okay. I got it here.
So
Oh,
it's
it's kind of expensive.
how much is it?
Hold on. On eBay, it's going for 70, and then Amazon. I mean, Amazon's ridiculous. It's like a used copy for 193. But hold on, let me check.
I
Let
got
me
it at
check the
Dave's for
Discogs.
$8.
That's probably more what it is. Let me check. I'm checking Discogs.
Yeah.
Is that all your Burbeck, Jack?
Yeah, that's all my Brubeck.
That's pretty weak, Jack. You should have a lot more than that.
Well,
That's a tough one.
I just started my first jazz record ever.
Okay, cool. Teddy Wilson. That's fantastic.
Andre Previn, Teddy Wilson, and Barclay Allen. And what it is they each do 3 or 4 songs. They're not playing together. And it's this series of records on the Pickwick, a subsidiary of Pickwick. So you know it's high quality.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But when we bought our shitty ass stereo in 1963 or 64 or 65, I don't know when we bought it. The family $100 Webcore stereo with the drop down turntable speakers, like a suitcase, you could take it somewhere and set it up. That was one of the records, that and bongos. They were the stereo demo records that were like, the free records they gave you when you bought your stereo.
We are going to end the poll soon, so get your votes in. Get your votes in, folks.
Well,
We have 20. There's only 22 people voted.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, how many people are watching? I mean,
71. Right?
I think we have like 70, something like that.
It says it right in the corner of the screen here.
Yeah, but that's never right. I feel like I never pay attention to that.
Right.
So okay. I have a few records to show to get through here. I heard the Hampton Halls already.
If you want to get political stuff, and just come around when I'm hammered about hour 6 on a Friday night, I'll get
Oh
political.
man, yeah, you guys can go deep.
Yeah. Jack, have you seen any of my drunken escapades up to like 3 o'clock in the morning?
Although I will say this is a forum to get away from the issues of the day.
yeah, I've been watching most Friday nights if I'm not going out to see a show, which is of course preferable. But
How dare you?
I've seen a couple of the long ones. I tend to, well,
There are people that like Chris did one that was like 8 hours.
yeah,
And
I think that's the one that I stopped watching and then I watched the end of it in the morning.
Nice.
yeah, people were commenting that like so obviously we do it Friday and then like Wednesday or Thursday, people were commenting, finally finished this. 'Cause they were watching it over the week. So
Well,
it was
yeah.
good. I tuned in for a good portion of that, and you guys like went to sports, and that's like I'm not even a sports guy, and that was really fun to listen to.
I don't remember most of that night.
All right,
Yeah.
so hold on, I want to show some records here.
All righty.
So we have Mike Notes and Tones got me onto this guy and recommended this. I'm pretty sure specifically this is Frank Morgan on Contemporary.
I got that. That's great.
So this is later Contemporary, and it's got Johnny Coles, Cedar Walton, Buster Williams, Billy Higgins, Bebop Lives, and obviously at the Vanguard.
Not really West Coast, but that's Vanguard, bro.
Yeah, I don't. What is Frank Morgan a West Coast dude? I mean, it's at the Vanguard.
I don't know exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know
That's
what's
a killer
going on.
fucking record, though, man. That's a killer record.
But Johnny Coles was on 11 stuff. So, well, that's Pacific Jazz actually. Never mind. I don't know.
That's a good record for sure.
And then I showed this they're reissuing, worth getting.
That was Art. Where was Art Farmer from?
This one is what Chad should be reissuing for real. Hampton Halls, Harold Land, Scott LaFaro, and Frank Butler. This should 1000% be reissued. I mean, no question about it. So
Art Farmer's from New York. Or no, he's from Iowa. Iowa.
Iowa. I was born in Iowa.
we got some Teddy Edwards. Teddy Edwards, I think, is a earlier kind of, I want to say like bebop guy, or maybe even like Ellington.
Billy Higgins.
I think he worked with Ellington.
Yes.
This one's cool.
Yeah,
This is laid back for sure. But I wanted to get some Teddy in my collection, and this is one of my favorite ones. He has a few on Contemporary. Trying to think of the other
He's from
ones.
Mississippi.
Can't remember the names, but anyway, he's great. Leroy Vinegar, Billy Higgins, definitely worth checking out. This is one of those 70s reissues, like the pre OJC reissue series. This is like very similar to an OJC, although the cover is better quality. It's got the tip on, but in terms
Did he
of
play
like
with Charlie Parker?
Charlie Parker, yeah. Teddy Edwards isn't like, even this picture, he looks pretty young here. And when this came out, I think he was still like a maybe Ben Webster age, not as old. Ellington was born like 1899 or some shit.
Yeah.
Like not exaggerating.
This guy was born in 24.
And yeah, it's got a cutout here. But anyway, I can't remember where I got this from, but it came up. Generally kind of an expensive. OGs are very expensive or pretty expensive. So there's that. This one is another one Chad should put out, because this one I feel like is in Chad's wheelhouse in terms of like style. So Howard, and it's West Coast, so it's Howard McGee, Shelly Man, Phineas Newborn Jr., Leroy Vinegar, and I have Water Damage here, but I got it for a cheap price because of that.
Is that the one you freaked out about the cover for like 2 weeks?
No, I didn't freak out. I just mentioned it, and you guys made fun of me because I mentioned it.
Yeah, you did it again.
All right, I showed the Victor Feldman. Oh, okay. This one's really good. This one comes up time to time. I try to get the guys to buy it. I'll share the link if it comes up. But
Well,
this
no.
is OJC, but this is looking good. Joe Gordon. So Joe Gordon plays trumpet on those Shelly Man Blackhawk sessions. So there's those 4 records. The CD, there's even more. Also mentioned another record Joe Gordon was on, but he died young. I think like his cigarette like caused a fire in his house, and he died in the fire or something like that. He died young, so there's not actually much stuff of his, but he's a great trumpet player. This is a hard one to get, but the OJC is obviously going to be a little more affordable. This one's even really difficult to find, but this is a really cool record, cool jazz. I'm pretty sure Joe Gordon's a California guy, which is why he played on the Shelly Man records. But it's Jimmy Woods. Oh, that's right. So the Jimmy Woods record I showed, he plays on Jimmy Woods' record.
He's
So
from Boston.
He's from Boston.
He died in LA though.
Died in L.A. from a fire. Is that right? Did I get that right? It says it there.
It's weird, man. His is like the saddest wiki page I've ever seen for a musician. Really, didn't even say.
Well,
And
the
house
guy-
fire. Died in a house fire.
House fire. So Joe Gordon, Jimmy Woods alto, Dick Whittington piano, Jimmy Bond bass, and Milt Turner drums.
Be right back, guys.
So he's a contemporary of Jimmy Woods, and I mentioned like they should reissue the Jimmy Woods, but this Joe Gordon, I don't know. I mean, I feel like in terms of like sales, like nobody knows this record, so it probably isn't a good financial decision, but it's good decision for your jazz collection. Get this. And then the last one I'll show is I know Chico Freeman from his work on Indian navigation. It's pretty out there stuff. And I got this. Brandon recommended this. This is Chico Freeman on contemporary. This is Beyond the Rain with Hilton Ruiz, Juneth Booth, Elvin Jones, and Juma Santos. And this is a really great record.
That dude looks serious.
Pretty badass cover there.
Yeah.
You know, contemporary, like the rhythm section, it had like Art Pepper in the woods with his alto. You got Chico Freeman leaning up against a tree with his tenor. You know, this is a West Coast look here. So
He's still with us too.
anyway, this is a later one too. Contemporary has like a whole later, like I mentioned, the Prince Lachey and Sonny Simmons, and there's the Jimmy Woods, and there's the Woody Shaw, there's Chico Freeman. You know, there's a lot of good stuff later on in contemporary that is, you know, they're hard to get. You know, I guess they didn't press that because they weren't selling that much, but that would be, I mean, it's worth checking out all that later contemporary stuff. It's some pretty like edgy stuff in there for the time.
Yeah. No, I mean, the later contemporary stuff's great, man. I mean, like those Art Pepper records I showed are insane.
Yeah.
You know, another really interesting label, which I think might be West Coast. Let me look it up real quick. So I have a few of. What about Concord?
I don't know. I guess they're West Coast. Let's see.
Well, they started in Concord, California, didn't they?
Oh,
Is
probably.
that right? Okay, that makes sense.
Yep, Concord, California. There you go.
Yep.
But they
Did not know
they
that.
have some like 70s and 80s stuff that's killer, man. And it's and yeah, I mean, because the label was founded in 73, but there's some really good shit on there. I've got 3 or 4 of them. I really like them. They're like $5 records. Concord Jazz, yes. What's
Yeah.
funny is Concord owns everything now. The parent
And then-
company. They
So-
own Kraft.
The inspiration for the thumbnail, although it's literally nothing, it's like three words, but and the reason why I even thought to do it is I got this, and this was, you know, just in my shelf behind me. This is a book of all the, not all of them, but a lot of the Pacific jazz titles.
Hmm.
So Mazzy was gifted this by Dizzy, the famous Dizzy, for his birthday. And I seeked this out and got it for a good price because of that. So anyway, this was kind of the inspiration for tonight.
Concord bought Fantasy. That makes sense, Nicole.
Yes. And then
Nicole-
Concord bought, doesn't like Concord own Kraft?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's like Concord and UME like basically own everything in the United States, right?
And Sony,
and Sony. But yeah, okay, yeah.
pretty
So,
much.
all right.
There's
Well,
one-
do you guys have any other things to show, or should we wind it down?
I'm good.
Or Chris, I mean, you could keep going. I don't care.
Well, I got a West Coast record to show. Let me find it.
Okay. All right.
It's from shit. I'm going blank. What is it? I want to show it. What do you think?
Okay, I'm gonna end the poll. So
Oh,
hopefully everybody got their stuff in.
I know what it is. What are the results of the poll, man?
Okay, where are the results? Okay, what West Coast label do you prefer? We have contemporary with 63%, Pacific Jazz / World Pacific at 33, and then other 2%.
Other 2%.
Yeah, and it doesn't. Oh, and 36 people voted. So,
Cool.
not too bad.
Well, I think I've lost this other record I wanted to show. It's on a label called Palo Alto Jazz,
Oh,
Which-
yeah.
which I've obviously got it in the wrong places. I saw it a minute ago and now I can't find it. But Palo Alto's obviously California, but see if I can find some information about it really quick. I think it's it doesn't even exist. Palo Alto Records. Okay, let's see. So then Wikipedia. It was a jazz record company and label. It was in the 80s. Founded in 81 by Jim Benham, who lived in Palo Alto. Anyway, there's a who is it? Well, fuck it. I guess the edible's kicking in. I can't remember shit now. Forget it. Another
All
West Coast label in the 80s that's got some cool shit.
Well, if
Like
you're
Sam-
watching,
Your boy Tyner did a record on that in 85. So
I'm just going to plug this because I think we're going to end soon. But Chris, if you want to keep going, I mean,
do you want me to edit the video we want to release? Or
I do want. So we did a video that I think is going to be really good. I think has good reach, good insights. So yeah, let's-
especially after nobody watched the video me and Felipe did about headhunters. People have disappointed us for the last time.
yeah. So remember to not remember, but if you guys can like and subscribe before we shut down, hopefully this will get some reach. And then if you want to join our Discord, we're like I think we're approaching 400 members, and it's basically like a giant chat room. So if you're not familiar with Discord, it's got you join it. There's a bunch of chats and it's real time. You can post what you're listening to. You could talk if you have questions. You just ask somebody. Will answer. It's pretty great. So, so that invite is in the description of the video. So come and hang out. Everyone is welcome. But yeah,
Welcome.
Jack, thank you for joining. It's been fun.
Thank you for having me. I've got to play with my new toy.
Absolutely. Yeah, your computer's working perfectly.
I got a MacBook Air.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's a great computer.
Yeah. I thought it'd be fun.
Rob showed up right at the end.
All right, after parties on the Discord. If everybody wants to head over there and start chatting about their favorite West Coast labels, or
Yeah, I think I got to make dinner.
no, I'm kidding. But anyway, all right, guys, it was fun. Thanks for hanging out this Wednesday, and we'll see you. Hopefully, we'll get a video up tomorrow morning, and then also we have the Friday stream, so we'll be back then with everybody. But yeah, if you're watching, leave your favorite West Coast titles in the chat and like and subscribe. All right, see you guys.
Chat's ending in like 10 seconds, dude.
All right,
See ya.
Bye-bye.